Magpie 24/7 and I hope he's all good. So, preview time. Newcastle take on Arsenal on the Monday night of the last home game of the season for Newcastle. And it's a bit of a strange one because we got hammered in the last game against Man City, but up until the last 10 minutes and a few glimpses of really bad defending from Lascelles in particular, I didn't think we played too bad. I just think Man City are that good. They're just like Kevin De Bruyne. Like, I've seen world class players, and then there's him. He's just fucking brilliant. But I talked about Kevin De Bruyne enough to probably get on get on a Man City fan channel. Like, I was in awe of the bloke, but like, yeah, that's the last video. I'm on to the preview now, and I think there's a couple of things in the team that need to be talked about, to be honest, as well. Because I've seen, like, I'm going to start from the top and work my way down where the team's concerned in like certain positions, so it might be a little bit of a longer video, but I'm going to go over it anyway. I've seen loads about Dubravka online that we need to bring in a new goalkeeper and all this shit, but like he's made one mistake. Like, come on, he's had another good season as Dubravka. Like, I know he's fairly injury prone and stuff, but he's definitely got a part to play in this team. Like, he put up with Steve Bruce, had a couple of alleged arguments with Steve Bruce, and stayed with when he was linked with Juventus and all these top teams, you know, and he stayed with Newcastle and signed a 5-year contract when, like, under Mike Ashley, like, a lot of the time, if we brought in a player and they had a good half a season, they'd be out the door. Look at Jose Perez, look at, like, Andy Carroll. Like, anybody who has half a decent season at Newcastle, usually they're out the fucking door. But Dubravka stayed and he did well for the time he was there. Like, under the Ashley era, he kept winning games. He probably kept up single-handedly one of them seasons under Bruce. Like, you remember how it was, how open we were at the back and how many saves he had to make in a game and stuff like that. Do I think we need a new goalkeeper in the summer? I do. I do think we need a new goalkeeper to challenge Dubravka, but I don't think it's the right decision right now just to say, oh, thanks for your service, Tara, to someone like Dubravka, who I think organises a defence well. He commands his box excellently, and he's a good shot stopper. And I'll still say what I've said from probably the first couple of games I've seen him play. Best goalkeeper we've had since Shea Given, and like I've said that for a long time, and I'm gonna stick with it because he is a fucking brilliant goalkeeper, and I don't think a mistake should overshadow what he has done for the club when he makes world-class saves that, like, not many make. Like, the one against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park a couple of seasons ago, like, world-class. Like, there's loads to mention with Dubravka, and, like, he should definitely be a part of this project, even if you do bring in a good, like a top-end goalkeeper who would take the number one spot from. Even if you were to do that, Dubravka should be a part of the project in some way, because he deserves to be. But the back four's another one, I think. Like, I know there'll be changes made on Monday night, because I know Trippier will come back in for Kraft. But if Shea's still injured, Lascelles will play again. And, like, I never thought I'd say this, but Kraft doesn't deserve to be dropped. Of course I would for Trippier, because Trippier's a class above Kraft. Do you know what I mean? Like, but to me, Lascelles getting a game and Kraft not getting a game is bizarre to me. It's mental. I hope Fabian Schär's fully fit and ready to go for Monday. Because my back four will be Trippier, Schär, Burn, and then Target. Because I think Lascelles made so many mistakes against Man City. Like, I know it's Man City, you know, the basically the best, one of the best teams in the world. But like, some of the mistakes were like Sunday League level shite. Easy to pass through. Like, I just, like, Lascelles, like, when we were in the Championship and stuff in the first 2 seasons when he was under Rafa Benitez in the back 5, was absolutely brilliant for the most part. Lascelles led that team, and he's a part of that era of Newcastle where he was the main man, and like, I remember him coming into the dressing room and being like a young 22, 23-year-old lad telling the lazy bastards at the team at the time, the likes of Jan Mats and your Sissokos and people like that, and getting them told, even as a young player, telling them they don't give a shit. And then he was playing and he did well. And unfortunately went down, but when we came back up, he made a formidable partnership with Kieran Clark, and he did really well. Like, I'll never forget that game against Swansea, where he cleared one off the line from Tammy Abraham and then scored the winner himself. Like, Lascelles has been great for this team, but I think I just don't see it at Newcastle anymore for him. I think if he went to Nottingham Forest, where he's been linked, back to Nottingham Forest, I think that's a great move for him. Steve Cooper is a good manager, and with his experience in the Championship and his experience at the Premier League level, I think whether Notts Forest come up or stay in the Championship, that's a good move for him. But like, even despite the last couple of years with Lascelles and like being frustrated with him and stuff like that, I still think there's a good player in there for sure, and I'll always respect what he done for Newcastle in the time he was here, especially under Benitez. But I think it's just time for him to move on, and we'll bring in a new centre back in the summer. But moving further up the field, to be honest, against Man City, I thought Sean Longstaff done absolutely nothing, like nothing at all. He just wasn't in the game at all. So I'd keep it the same. Guimaraes, Joe Linton, and instead of Longstaff, I would bring Willock in. Play Willock against Arsenal, and he's got a point to prove against Arsenal. Like, so, be nice to see Willock have a good game against them. And I think barring like one or two games, I think Willock's been brilliant. He was excellent against Brentford. Like, Willock has shown he can do it on his day, and hopefully he would have one of them days against Arsenal. And plus, he's got an engine as well. He's good at getting up and down the field. So for me, Joe Willock comes in. And now to the front three, because there's question marks over all three of these positions, to be honest. Does Callum Wilson start from like? Does he start up top? For me, I'd give Wilson a start. I know Chris Wood's done an okay job, but it's time to see what we're like with actually a centre forward that can score goals is like. Um, I think Fraser will be close to full fitness. Does he come in instead of Miggy? Miggy's been alright, to be fair. It's just, I think Fraser will be better suited to play up front with Wilson. And the big one being Alan St Maximin. Do you drop Maxi? Because it's a difficult one, because he hasn't been great this year. It's like it's almost like Maxi's trying too hard. He's trying to be the hero and stuff he's playing with almost like he's got something to prove, but he's trying too hard to prove that. And like, I see the moans and groans of fans that have like got a bit frustrated with him over the past couple of weeks, because he just seems to be in and out of games. And like, I see it in the stands when I'm in the Gallagher. Like, when he doesn't like run towards like the defender, and people get frustrated with him, or he goes down injured and it doesn't look like enough to be an injury, he stays down, and like, people do get frustrated with Alan St Maximin. But it's a case of, do you start him? Does Miggy come in? Does Jacob Murphy come in? Because I don't particularly rate Jacob Murphy, but he did more in the minutes on the field he had than Maxi did, and Murphy was on 10 minutes. Murphy played a lovely little ball into Callum Wilson, and Wilson probably should have scored, but that's more than what Maxi did in the whole game. Like, does Maxi get dropped for his recent form? Like, because for me this year, Maxi's been at his best when he's came off the bench. And like, it's mad to say about Maxi, because I look at him as a key player. If we can get him tuning again properly, he's someone you can build a team around. But I don't know if you start him against Arsenal or not. Like, get your comments and let us know what you feel about it. But for me, I don't think I'd start him. I think I'd drop him to the bench, play Miggy on one side, Fraser on the other, and then play Wilson. But that's me personally. Can we get a result against Arsenal? It is going to be a difficult game. Arsenal got a lot to play for. They're having a really good season, actually. I took them as one of the teams that could be in the bottom half, like the flop of the season, a bit like kind of a season that Leicester have had. I expected Arsenal to have that type of season, but fair play to Mikel Arteta. Like I can only like praise him. Like he's been brilliant, to be fair, this season for them. He's brought in younger players, like Saka, Emil Smith Rowe, Martellini, Nketiah, I think it is Nketiah, and brought these players in and gave them a chance, and they seem to be doing really well for Arsenal. Like they've dropped the big names like your Ozils and your Bamiyangs and people like that, and they've went with a younger team and the younger players that are hungry and have got points to prove, and they're doing brilliantly. And you've added the likes of Odegaard to that, so like if an Arsenal fan's watching this, like I can only give you his credit. Like the players that he's brought in, and like even when he sold Joe Willock and bought in Aaron Ramsdale for the same amount of money, I thought that's fucking mental. Why would you pay that for Ramsdale? He's a relegation goalkeeper, but he's even went to prove a lot of people wrong. And to be honest, I think he's been the best English goalkeeper this season. So fair play to him as well. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, but one I think we can be okay in, and I think we can. I think we can get a point if we play very well. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a high intense game. It's going to be a lot of technical ability in the midfield with Odegaard and Gomares, and so it is one I'm looking forward to. But get your comments in. Let us know how you feel about the game coming up, and let us know what you think about Maxi as well. Do you start Maxi? Do you drop Maxi? Do you bring him on from the bench? What do you do with him? Let us know. But stay tuned to Magpie 24/7 for more. I'll catch you on the next one. And yeah, catch you in a bit, everyone. Ta-ra for now.